Hi, Derek Thomas, Monday Morning Critic podcast. Hello, Ian, Catalina. How are you?
Good, Derek. How are you?
Great. So, you play a married couple. Obviously, those who are watching the show know this. You suffered the loss of Thomas, which is truly hell on earth for, I'm sure, any parent. Then you end up in another hell that's inescapable, which is the show itself. Each of you has family and children. What do you think the most frightening thing about what each of your characters is going through is?
Um, hmm. I think the inability of just keeping your children tight. I mean, like
Mm,
losing Thomas as a parent, you just want to bubble wrap them and just put them, just don't move, don't breathe, breathing too hard. I mean, like you just want to overcompensate and control their lives, but it's impossible. It's not realistic, and I think this season you're just gonna see how these kids are, making their own decisions. I think last season we saw it with Julie making her decision. That was the first time that she was making a decision as an adult, basically.
yeah.
And this season you see Ethan confront fears that you, as a parent, as a mom, you think that that was impossible to do, and then you learn from that. And you take note, and that resonates with you what that little kid is showing you, and that what little kid is telling you to do and to learn from them, which I think it's a beautiful thing.
Ian, what did you want to add to that? Anything?
Yeah. What fear does to human psychology, it can be crippling, or perhaps it can set you free if you can recognize it as a non-limiting factor and let go of what does fear mean. Fear means, in this story, fear can bring on it's the fear of death.
Yeah.
uh I think that the scariest thing that any father can come up against is, what if fear brings about cowardice in
Mm,
the face of it, and you fail to act in the time, when the moment is in front of you, and you don't do what is needed in order to protect your family in this case. And
yeah.
that fear I can resonate with. That cowardice is scarier to me than the fear of death,
Mm,
or any kind of version of what a monster could mean.
right.
Maybe to me, even cowardice is the monster.
Right.
Does that make
You know,
sense?
yeah, perfect sense. Great answers, both of you. My last question is: The Walking Dead was never really about zombies, right? The threat was other people. Do you find the same to be true here? Because you look at some of the people here, the man who got drunk and talk about cowardice, left his family to die. Sarah Myers, Boyd's wife. Do you think people are a bigger threat in this show than the monsters that come out at night?
Not yet. I feel like of course, that is within the lexicon of the human experience,
Right.
but that hasn't fully come out yet. People's There are ones you really have to watch and be careful of, because they're going through something that is really drastic to them, and they might lash out and act out because they're in such psychological paralysis
Mm,
until they lash out and do something dangerous. But ultimately, it's so far in our show, the creatures are the ones that
yeah.
you really have to watch out for, and they're good metaphor for the predatory nature of some human beings. So really, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you both. I really appreciate this time. You've been so kind, and you're great on the show. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're
Thank
Hi,
welcome.
Scott. Hi, Liz. How are you?
Hey,
Oh, how are you?
Good, thank you. Scott, in case you get hungry, I want to know I got your back. And
bless you. You're the first person to have done that. Bless you.
yeah, and you know what, Liz, you can join us as well because I feel like you're in my position in the show, so you should be able to enjoy as well.
Why, thank you, sir.
Yeah,
So kind.
I have a question for each of your wonderful characters. Scott, Victor, the audience sees him as much more than I think the town sees him. Right, the town sees him as maybe the guy that his cheese has slid off the cracker a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit of a odd duck a little bit, but the viewer sees him in a very different light. Like there's much more to this man than we're giving him credit for. Is that a tough balance for you? How do you see Victor? How do you want people to see Victor?
You know, it's one of those things. That's a great question, and I feel like I realized very early on that it's just not up for me to decide that for the audience. They'll just get, you know, whatever they're gonna ascertain, just get whatever they're gonna get from, you know, what it is. I'm blessed with, as we all are, like these great characters and these great scripts that keep coming from, you know, from John. So there's a great trust there that I'm just gonna, you know, it's just gonna keep feeding that well, filling that well. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, it's you know, how do I see him? I don't know. I think it's just, I just sit in that exciting spot of exploration, you know, that we all do as actors too, right? Where I just keep working towards the core of this guy. I had a little seed of, you know, of his trauma that I started with at the beginning, that that was revealed in episode, I guess it was episode 4 for him, you know, where he was left alone there. But much more, you know, is getting revealed this season in so many ways. And I feel like, yeah, I'm still learning. I'm just learning as I go, man. I think I just keep riding the ride and trying to flesh this guy out and just do my best to keep him as grounded as I can in this crazy reality that we live in.
Yeah, great answer, great character. Liz, for lack of a better word, Donna is a badass.
I thought you were something else, but
no. And what I love about her, and your character gets rave reviews when you read other people talk about her. You know, she suffered loss. She talks about, I think, her sister and
sister,
all.
yeah.
But yet, like, she is the backbone of this community. Like, there's no reason to be hopeful here, ever, at all. But you have somebody like Donna, perhaps Boyd, where they still look out for other people. So it gives people like hope in humanity. How did you want people to see Donna? And is it a tough character to, because she's very serious, she's deep, and you know, is that a difficult thing to formulate on your end? How do you do that?
It's not difficult at all. I'm very serious and deep.
It's true.
I love playing her. So I mean, there are definitely scenes that are trickier or days that can be trickier. But I love the interactions that I'm presented with in the scripts to have to do. And of course, this cast is amazing. So it's always a joy, whoever you're across from. So that's as an actor, makes it a lot easier to be there. I think she takes up more space in the world than I feel permitted to do.
Right.
And I think that's a real a joy, but it's also a little bit frightening sometimes.
Yeah, you're both just really awesome and create a situation where the show is just so, like, I can't get enough of this show. It's just wonderful, and you guys are big reasons why. And thank you for letting me ask you a few questions today.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, pleasure.
Take care. Thank you.